Let's make some firewood. Why do they call this a cant hook? Shouldn't it be a can hook? However, that's not the case. Actually, that's the case. So in a prior video, you saw Chris and I stack up a number of baskets out here with the kinetic log splitter. But today, I'm gonna be using this bad boy. 40-ton hydraulic log splitter from Champion Power Equipment. And if you watched that last video, you saw me preview this for you guys a little bit. I mentioned that we'll do a head-to-head between this and the kinetic at some point. That's not today's video. Today, we're actually just gonna make some firewood. I'm gonna talk about what I like, what I don't like about this splitter, and hopefully get through all these rounds. Not a ton, not the most we've ever split out here. It's probably 50 or 60, but enough to probably keep me busy and wear me out for a couple hours. I won't be using the conveyor today. We're gonna be splitting straight into the IBC tote. I'll get into all the specs of this thing after we split some firewood. I just wanna kind of run it, show you guys. I'll leave some of this real time so you can see it function, hear it function, and then I'll hyperlapse some stuff until we get through this rounds. Then I'll jump back on here and talk about all the specs of this unit. Hope my lighting turns out okay for you guys. As you can see here, I'm in the shade under this big old sycamore. That out there is the no-no zone. It's about 90 degrees today. All right, cold start on this. Fuel's on, I will choke it. It's very easy to run, operates smooth, got plenty of power. Right now though, we're not done. So I'm gonna save the yapping for the end. Let's power through this. You will get to see me move it though. And this thing weighs just shy of 675 pounds. I think that might be without the oil, and there's 12 gallons of oil in it. So probably close to 700 pounds. I usually move it with the tractor. Right now I'm just gonna walk it forward so you can see me do it and get an idea. It helps if you move the trash out of the way. Gotta move it far enough to get another basket in here. Ran over a tire chalk. So, while feasible, not something you want to be doing all day, every day, throughout the wood yard. If you're moving it some distance, you're going to want to use a piece of equipment. It does help once you, get the weight up over the pivot point of the axle spindle. All right, let's get in our basket. Oh, I gotta go the long way. Somebody put rounds in the way. How does she start when she's warm? Let's find out. And I'll explain the screwdriver a little later. I got through most of those rounds. but I have 2 completely full baskets, and I don't feel like starting another because it's pretty hot today. So I wanted to get all the work out of the way and just show you this thing in action before I start yapping to you about it. Also, the way I see it is you're either a regular viewer here and you just want to see me do some work and not just talk about specs of a log splitter, or B, you're trying to buy this log splitter, you've already read about all the specs and you just want to see it work. So either way. So a little bit about this thing. It advertises with 11.3 cycle time. That is from full retraction, full extension, and full retraction. So if you go back to that hyperlapse when I was kind of splitting, you'll notice I'm only moving the wedge like 4 to 8 inches at any given time. This splitting wedge, I think it's 9 inches tall. It's got a pretty good flare to it. If this part here alone doesn't make the split go, you get to right here, and a lot of times that whole thing's just gonna pop. If you split wood before, you know what I mean. You don't have to actually sweep it that far. It will do a 24-inch round right here, but unless you're splitting wood for, say, a wood boiler or just for campfire wood, 24 inches is likely way too long. We cut ours at 14 inch because that kind of works on some of the smaller wood stoves we have out here. So at 14 inches, if we bring this cylinder all the way out here, you're taking a lot of distance out of that cylinder there. So 11.3 becomes much shorter. Talking about cycle times, 11.3 is advertised. I got it to run at like 10.5 or 10.3, and at idle 13.5 I believe it was. The motor's a 338 cc 4-stroke. This log guard up here is nice. I did have a couple fall off of the racks and hit here, so you're not damaging your fuel tank or anything there. And the motor's opposite of the split side, which is also kind of nice. These racks come standard with the unit. At first I thought that was going to be ridiculously small and a real pain to work with, but it's not bad. You know, you're not going to split 36-inch rounds on this thing, and it does go vertical if you want it to. Not something I probably will ever do, because if I have rounds that big out here, we just burn them. I think I mentioned the old girl takes 12 gallons of hydraulic fluid, which is all in that tube there, or the axle, whatever you want to call it. I think this is a 5-inch outer diameter cylinder with like a 1.8 actual cylinder inside there. The pump's 2-stage, I think 24 some odd gallons a minute, so pretty good flow, and it will adjust, you know, for speed versus pressure as it gets into something with some teeth. What else? What else? It's hot. That cylinder's cooking too. Why do they call this a cant hook? Shouldn't it be a can hook? Like I can now move that log. One thing nice about this versus the companies who make the more professional grade log splitters, or even my kinetic splitter, is that these wheel bearings are actually highway rated. So I think this can tow up to 70 miles an hour, which is a nice thing to have, because this is a unit that's big enough for most homeowners. That's probably overkill, but if you want to buy it with a couple buddies and trailer it around to their house or your dad's house, your brother's house, whatever it may be, these are the things I'm thinking. A distinct possibility, and not to trailer it. And it's heavy enough, I don't think it would hop around too much on the highway. Also, I think I mentioned that I burned about a half a tank of fuel as I filled these 2 baskets. Tank capacity is like just under 1.5 gallons. So you could roughly get 4 baskets out of a tank of fuel, which isn't too bad. And I do believe that all 40 ton are there. It only bogged down, I think, on like 2 rounds as I was working through that. I also think I only had it on about 3/4 throttle. I say think because I'm not 100% sure. Let me show you a few things I don't like about this. So if you shop around and read reviews about this, you're going to find more than a handful of people complain that there's no throttle control on this. That's right, there's no apparent throttle control on this. When you pull the ripcord, start it up, she's wide open, she's ready to roll. However, that's not the case. Actually, that's the case. So if you remember my trusty old screwdriver here, if you look down in here, this little lever right here is the throttle control. And you can see right now it's resting flat against that nut. If I go down here and stick my screwdriver onto this Phillips head screw that's in there and crank it, you're going to see it push that lever out. So right now what I'm doing is basically giving it more fuel. And when you get this thing brand new, you're going to have it come just like that, and it's going to start wide open. So I've been backing it down because I think it's better for an engine to be able to run at idle instead of starting it wide open. I don't know if this is necessarily a con, but something to be aware of if you buy this unit. There's no stickers on here that say this is going to get extremely hot. It gets extremely hot. What does that say? 201 degrees. So not, you know, 3rd degree burn, take your face off kind of stuff, but I bumped my leg against that a couple times while I was splitting. It gets your attention. Most people aren't splitting in the dead of August in shorts, so there's that, but just something to be aware of. Number 3, And I'm starting to get real nitpicky here, guys, because I don't have a lot of bad things to say about this. I wish this double plastic tire, I wish it was pneumatic, because it just doesn't want to turn and roll very good on the concrete floor. And I think it'd pivot a whole lot better if it was a pneumatic tire. I may change that out. And speaking of nitpicky, when you get some of this punky wood, which, you know, most people are going to split nicer stuff than we've got laying around, but at some point you're going to split some punky soft wood. It's going to throw a bunch of garbage. I'm not too concerned about what's down there, but I do wish this would clear itself a little bit better. So it'll just keep pulling back and kind of build up on this thing, and it'll often push off to the motor side, and right here's the exhaust. At least it's not the air intake side. And down there onto the hydraulic pump. What I would like to see is a piece of sheet metal on an angle going this way, kind of like right here where I just drew that line in the dust, so that when this stuff comes back, it'll hit this stuff, it'll hit the guard and just push it off to the side. And so if we could stick it way back here in the back where none of that stuff is, it'd just clear it a little easier. The hoses on this thing are really nice too. All that stuff's a little nitpicky, but it wouldn't preclude me from recommending this to, say, my dad or my brothers or my friends. It's a well-built unit, and it comes with a 2-year warranty. So if it were me and you buy it, just beat it up in the first 2 years, make sure it's going to stand up, and then you're good. You know, if you're not familiar with Champion power equipment, they don't just specialize in log splitters. In fact, they don't really specialize, I think, in anything. They've got a lot of different products out there. I only really looked into Champion deeply because Champion's the brand of the trash pump I used out there for the pond when I was trying to clear that flooded area. I put probably 40 hours in that thing the first 2 weeks I had it, and so now here we are partnering with Champion. But they make log splitters, wood chippers, little chainsaws, generators, a whole host of generators actually. I got a good buddy who uses one of those for his RV setup. But at this price point, it's pretty darn impressive. Pretty sure it's the biggest one that Home Depot sells. Not sure about Amazon. I'm gonna look, but links to this will be below. Northern Tool may have a bigger one than this, but this is right up there with, I would say, the top 5 biggest ones you can buy at a box store. So that's why this baby's called the Box Store Beast. Speaking of clever names for machines and tools, if you've never heard me reference this 390 XP, we affectionately call this thing the Big Feller. Surely you get that, right? It's like a big feller and it fells trees, right? So if you're a homeowner and you're in the market for a log splitter and you don't want something that's cheap and chintzy, and you want to feel like you're getting, you know, a commercial piece of equipment and not some rinky-dink splitter, give this thing a look. I'll throw links down below, Home Depot, Amazon, wherever else I can find that it's sold. You guys can read the reviews, check it out. Let me know if you have any specific questions about this unit. I will be making another video with this, kind of head-to-head against the kinetic splitter at some point, and talking about pros, cons of each, and which you should buy if you're in the market for a splitter. But I am slowly coming for you, Adam, at Hometown Acres. I mean, very slowly. I think we have 18 baskets out here full now, so making progress. The difference is this is all personal use. We're not selling any of this, so tomato, tomato, right? It's hot. Time to jump in the pond. See you guys next time. Take care.